In the bustling city of Chicago, where trains rumbled through steel bridges and glass towers kissed the sky, two young dreamers met. His name was Mike Carter, a wide-eyed architecture student with bold dreams of designing skyscrapers that touched the clouds. Hers was Rita Daniels, a bright, compassionate soul studying nursing at St. Mary's Hospital, determined to bring healing where there was hurt. They first crossed paths at a mutual friend's barbecue, laughter rising into the summer night. Mike was shy, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead as he nervously complimented her smile. Rita, warm and witty, teased him gently but couldn't help noticing the spark in his eyes. From that evening, their hearts began a dance, one that seemed destined to last forever. College years swept them along in the whirl of exams, late-night coffee runs, and whispered promises under the glow of library lamps. Mike dreamed aloud of building iconic towers across America, while Rita envisioned opening a children's clinic someday. They supported each other through struggles, celebrated every victory, and in those youthful days, it seemed like nothing could ever break them apart. Family embraced their love wholeheartedly. Mike's mother, Evelyn, and father, Robert, treated Rita as though she were already their daughter-in-law. Rita's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Daniels, admired Mike's discipline and called him the steady one. Her younger brother, Thomas, and sister, Jasmine, adored him like an older sibling. Through college, graduation, and the start of their careers, Mike and Rita stood hand in hand. Friends, Angela, Rita's confidant from childhood, and Peter, Mike's closest buddy, often teased them, "You two are practically married already." Everyone assumed the wedding bells would ring soon. Yet, months slipped into years, and years into many more. Mike joined Carter & Sons Architecture, pouring his days into glass and steel creations. Rita blossomed at St. Mary's, tending to patients with grace and kindness. They traveled together, built memories, bought a cozy condo, and decorated it like newlyweds, though no vows had yet been exchanged. By the 10th year of their relationship, curiosity turned into whispers. At family gatherings, aunties leaned in with playful nudges. "So, when's the wedding?" Friends began marrying, buying homes, raising children. Still, Mike and Rita remained the couple in waiting. Rita laughed it off in public, but in private, her heart longed for the certainty of commitment. One autumn evening, while the leaves turned golden outside, Rita gently asked Mike, "Do you ever think about us getting married?" Mike smiled, kissed her forehead, and said, "Of course, just not yet. We have time." She nodded, but a shadow crept into her soul. For how long must love be patient? By the 15th year, patience had grown heavy. At dinners with friends, Rita forced her smile when questions arose. At Peter's anniversary, someone joked, "17 years? You must have the secret to marriage without paperwork." Rita laughed politely, but in the car afterward, tears spilled silently down her cheeks. "I'm tired of looking like your wife, but never being one," she whispered. Mike, weary from work, only sighed, "We're fine. Why change what works?" But what worked for him no longer worked for her. Silence began to grow like vines through their home. Rita volunteered for extra hospital shifts, avoiding the ache of empty conversations. Mike worked late, convincing himself she understood. The condo was full of love's memories, but strangely empty of its warmth. And then temptation entered softly. At the hospital, a new doctor, Aaron Miller, joined the staff. Charming, kind, always attentive, he asked about Rita's day when she looked tired, brought her coffee when her energy ran low, and noticed details Mike no longer did. His compliments were gentle, his laughter warm. Rita told herself it meant nothing, yet at night, she found her thoughts wandering where they should not. Meanwhile, at the architecture firm, Mike spent late nights with Claire, a young designer eager to prove herself. She admired his talent, often saying, "You're the best mentor I could have." Her laughter was easy, her eyes bright. One evening as they leaned close over a blueprint, The air grew too familiar. Mike pulled back quickly, guilty, yet shaken by how much he had enjoyed being noticed again. The distance between Mike and Rita widened. Arguments erupted, often ending in silence heavier than shouting. One night, Rita's voice broke with years of pain. "Mike, what exactly are we doing? 17 years, and I still don't know where this is going." He snapped back. "Why does a piece of paper matter so much? You know I love you." Her tears burned as she shouted. "Because love without commitment is emptiness, Mike." And in that moment, they both knew love alone might not be enough. The seasons turned again, but instead of healing, the gap widened. Rita confided in Angela, "I feel invisible. Like I've given all my years to a man who won't give me tomorrow." Angela hugged her tightly. "You deserve more, Rita. Don't forget that." Mike, meanwhile, poured his fears into conversations with his father. "I love her, Dad. I do. But marriage feels like a trap." Robert looked him straight in the eye. "No, son. Love without marriage is the real trap for both of you." The words lingered, but still, Mike hesitated. Then came the breaking point. One winter night, Rita came home to find Mike asleep on the couch, TV glowing across his face. She stood there, heart aching at the stranger before her. The next morning, over cold coffee, she whispered, "Mike, I don't think we're going to make it." His eyes widened. "What do you mean?" Her voice trembled. 17 years, and I'm still not your wife. I can't do this anymore." Mike reached for her hand in panic. "Don't say that, Rita. Please. We've built a life together." Tears streamed down her cheeks. "We've built memories, Mike, but not a future," he shouted. "I love you, that should be enough." Her voice cracked. Love without commitment is a promise unkept. Rita's parents saw her pain clearly at Sunday dinner. Her father asked gently, "Are you happy, daughter?" She lowered her head, unable to answer. Her mother held her hand. 17 years is too long to wait in uncertainty. Even her brother Thomas said firmly, if he wanted to, he would have already. And for the first time, Rita admitted, "I don't think he ever will." That week, Mike confided in his mother, Evelyn. "I think I've lost her." Evelyn's eyes filled with sadness. "You haven't lost her, son. You gave her away to your fear." His voice broke. "I thought we had time." She whispered back, 17 years was the time. And you let it slip." The truth hit him like a storm. One Friday evening, Rita packed a single suitcase. Mike rushed in, his heart racing. "Rita, what are you doing?" She looked at him with sorrow. "I'm choosing myself, Mike. After 17 years, I can't keep waiting." He dropped to his knees, gripping her hands desperately. "Don't leave me. I'll marry you tomorrow, next week, whenever you want." But Rita only shook her head. "Not out of fear of losing me. It should have come from love years ago." She kissed his forehead gently, then walked out the door, leaving him broken on the floor. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. Mike cooked dinners for two, but ate alone. The condo felt hollow, haunted by her laughter. He buried himself in work, but his designs lacked the spark they once had. Claire tried to cheer him, but nothing could replace what was gone. Rita, meanwhile, stayed with Angela for a time, crying into her pillow at night. Yet she felt a new peace, choosing herself at last. Months later, Rita accepted a fellowship in New York. She stood taller, spoke with confidence, rediscovered her joy. Dr. Miller congratulated her warmly, but she kept her heart guarded. Mike, on the other hand, drifted through life, quieter, shadows beneath his eyes. Almost a year later, fate brought them to the same gathering at Peter's home. When Mike saw her across the room, his breath caught. She was radiant, glowing with strength. He whispered softly when they greeted, "You look beautiful." She smiled gently. "Thank you, Mike. How have you been?" Their small talk carried the weight of 17 years. 17 years of love, laughter, dreams, and loss. Both of them knew the chapter was closed. That night, Mike sat in his car, whispering into the dark, 17 years wasted. Yet deep down, he knew they were not wasted. Those years were lessons, memories, a love story unfinished. Rita, writing in her journal, penned the words, "Sometimes, love is not enough. Commitment is the soil where love grows." She closed the book, her tears no longer bitter, but freeing. And so, their story became a caution told in hushed voices, that love, no matter how deep, must be chosen, must be sealed, must be given a future. For waiting too long can turn even the truest love into regret. Mike and Rita's tale was not of hate, but of choices left undone. To the world, they seemed inseparable, yet in truth, they were two hearts on different roads. And the lesson remained, do not wait forever, because sometimes forever runs out.